Hi, this is Silas Ram, AsianCultureVulture.com. I am with,
Nikhil Chopra,
and you are?
uh, a man,
You're also the lead curator, are you not?
an artist, artists. We are curators. I am leading the project, but you can't lead a project like this on your own. It's not. You need leaders. It has to be something that has to be done in plural. This is my colleague Madhurjya Dey. Hi, hello. Who's an incredible young artist, and it takes teams within teams within teams to make a project like this happen.
And what does it feel like to be in this where I understand it's the first time you're using this space for Kochi Biennale. So how did it feel to kind of launch it to this evening?
It felt. I mean, we haven't slept, so we're definitely on another kind of adrenaline. But Joe, how did you feel about this?
I think it's very good for Kochi. I mean, like from where we were at with Kochi in the last edition to this, and to be able to pull this off is quite commendable. Not just by the foundation or the curators, but also constant support of the artists and especially the local craftsmen here who have done incredibly. Like you can see this, it's not built by one person. This exhibition has been built by 500 or plus. And yeah, and still like lots to go. It's a work in process, like Nikhil mentioned. And yeah, we need a few more days.
Theme for the time being.
That's what it is. So, and we're inviting people into the process, and of course, this is not finished yet, but we thought that we should throw the door open. There was a little bit like, should we, shouldn't we, should we, shouldn't we? Because some of us would have actually sort of say, let's finish it, let's give it that final. And then some of us would know, let's just invite people in because half of the people are flying away tomorrow. And we don't want them to go away without actually even having a glimpse of what it is that we're doing here. And to see actually the scale and the ambition of what the possibilities are.
Tell us a little bit about the art, like and the artist here, and
This is Dineo Seshee Bopape. She's from South Africa. She's been here for a month. She's been working with local craftspeople. This is an organization called TerraCraft. TerraCraft. Yes. She's someone who's really interested in, she's sort of really interested in cosmic connections or connections that are working at a frequency that isn't really that kind of runs parallel to reality. I think she is someone who's really interested in um, sort of an ancient, slow way of working and thinking. Sort of rewinding as opposed to moving forward. Sort of the way forward is the way back first. And I think that her use of material is a real reminder of the way in which where we've become, our relationship to plastic and hyper digitization of the world. She really always has a relationship with the aura of an object. So there's something sacred about these very mother domes in which she wants you to enter and sort of feel cocooned.
you can go in.
You can. You can go inside, you can lie down, you can nap. And when actually you go inside, you see that as the light filters through this, you can already see the grass growing on the tops of it, right? And as you go inside, you start to see little holes punched in there which start to remind you of constellations. And we've set her lighting up in the order of the seven sisters. We haven't quite got there yet.
Right.
We're still fine-tuning it, but that's the idea.
And tell us about the big screen at the back with all the monks. What's so?
That's Marina Abramovich.
Oh well.
But you know what? I think that what's really valuable is, and I think Joe talks really well about this, is the work in between these two stellar women. Right, Joe? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, like, yes.
yeah.
Like talking about material in terms of subjectivity, that's one thing that we have seen. But also in this Biennale, we have tried to like bring in material practices because that tells you where you come from and what you want to be. So you see like all sorts of material practices, and we wanted to bring something tactile. Like you see Bhageshwar there, who works in stoneware entirely, and then you can't really make sense of the form, but you see that it's coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
And you keep scratching your head and you don't get there. And then next to Khageshwar, you have Meenu James. I'll just quickly like you want to do one more, yeah. So Meenu James paints her home, what is not home anymore. but like in the small, tiny bits and pieces, like in shots, and then she presents them in 100 stories. And then you have Aarti Kadam, who is an emerging artist, and she works with wood primarily.
And it's really, I mean, I think it's wonderful that we can sort of have them work as colleagues and not sort of feel like we need to put artists on a hierarchical position. You know, we as HH art spaces, we don't really work in a pyramidic way. You know, we work very parallelly. We work in a very linear way. And so it's also about, you know, kind of balancing the power in an art exhibition, and not bringing just like art stars, but giving the opportunity to artists also to be amongst well-established practices. So then they can see themselves also in that light.
And what about the theme for the time being? Can you tell us a little bit about why that was?
Well, these are very difficult conditions to make an international art exhibition. Is it finished? Is it unfinished? So time is a really important aspect of what we do, but also to embrace those conditions that we are in, right? We've thrown the space open, even though we're in the middle of work, right? We are not done yet. So in that way, I feel that it's an acceptance. It's an embracing of who we are, what we are, not aspiring to be anything more than who we are. And then there's a play on that word, right? Because there's this relationship to time that we have, because we are HH essentially is a space that's very interested in liveness or aliveness. But also, yeah, and the idea of being, right? Both used as a verb and a noun. So, that's the joy of playing with this.
Thank you. And your HH art
And we are HH Shivani. And that's Shivani.